Miss Jackson. Miss Jackson? Hey y'all, so I am back and we are doing another book vlog. So this month I plan on doing a Tiffany D. Jackson book vlog. So I plan on reading Monday's Not Coming, and then I have The Weight of Blood over there, and I also have White Smoke. So I have Monday's Not Coming on the Libby app, and then I have White Smoke and The Weight of Blood. I have the physical copies over here. Um, I was supposed to read The Weight of Blood and White Smoke last year, during like October for like Halloween, but I didn't get to, so I want to go ahead and finish those. Well, I I started The Weight of Blood. I started at part one. Well, I stopped at part one, but I never finished it, and then I never started uh White Smoke because I hear she's a mother to the girls. I hear about how good her writing is. I hear everybody talk about her and how much they love her writing and her stories and stuff like that. So I kind of wanted to, get into her writing, get into her as a writer, get into her as an author, as a storyteller, see what she's about, just, take a look at her work. So that's what this vlog is going to be. So I did 3 books, just 3 for now. And if I have time to do, another read something else, I get my hands on another audiobook to listen to by Tiffany D. Jackson, then I may do another one, but those are the 3 that I have for now. And yeah. I'll see you guys in my next clip. Bye. So I am back and I am 50% into White Smoke. When did I start reading? I think I started reading on Thursday, and today is Sunday now, and I'm 50% in. Initially, I was going to start Monday's Not Coming, which I did. I have the audiobook to Monday's Not Coming on Libby, and I forgot that I had accepted the borrow like a week or 2 ago, and it expired. I think it expired like on a Saturday or something. Like it expired on the 8th or something like that. And I didn't realize that I had accepted it so early, because I was trying to do it all at the same time. So I tried to renew the loan. They wouldn't let me, but they have 4 audiobooks available on Libby. So I was able to, get it back again. So I think I have like 12 or 13 days now for Monday's Not Coming, but I was only like 27% into that book. The audiobook for that is 10 hours, so I'm not really worried about that. But I did have White Smoke, so I just started White Smoke instead, since I was like, I messed up and started Monday's Not Coming, and then it ended up expired, and then I didn't have it for like 2 or 3 days. So I was just like, I'm just gonna start White Smoke. Started White Smoke, and that's what happened. So we are following this girl named Marigold. She is one of the main characters, and she has a brother named Sammy, and then she has her mom. I don't remember her mom's name, and then her mom is married to this white man named Alec. Is it Alec? I think it's Alec or Alex or something like that. And then he has a daughter, and her name is, what is her name? I don't even care about her name. It's Piper. So they have a little blended family going on. Sammy and Marigold, they still talk to their dad. Their dad, he travels a lot, so that's kind of how, like, their dad and Alec are cool. Like, they have each other phone numbers and stuff, so there's not really any, problems with the dad or anything like that. They're pretty close with the dad, but they are moving to a different town. And in this town, there is this house that is being given to her mom because of a program that she's in or something like that, in regards to like residency. I think it's a free house because Alec and her mom is in debt for something that happened with Marigold in regards to her mental health, being a mental institute. So she was placed in a mental institute for some reasons, and they are in debt because of that, and they're in debt, so on and so forth. So this free home would help them out a lot. And I think her mom is a writer. So in regards to this company, I guess she works for, that she writes for, I guess she writes for them, and she's able to live in that house. And something with that program, they also do something in regards to homes where they, I don't know, I don't want to say they gentrify homes, but they have these homes, something about residency. I don't too much remember. When I come back, I'm pretty sure I can give a full synopsis, but yeah, so they're in this home. This home is very old. People, it's a very small town. So people, and where this home is located, on this street where this home is located, is vacant, right? There's empty homes. It looks like the homes, nobody has, it looks like people were living there, but they vacated, like they left their stuff behind. It looks like those homes have been on fire, so on and so forth, right? So you know how in books, well, particularly in haunted books, where there's something going on in a certain place in the town, but they don't tell the people who are from out of town. That's the little thing that's going on in this book. Marigold, she has anxiety, and she is also fighting a weed addiction. So we're also following that with her. And yeah, that's kind of the synopsis of this book for now. Like, I don't want to, I like, when I try and talk about these books, I try not to spoil them the first clip, but the second clip, prepare to be spoiled, because like I have to get my thoughts out. But the first part of this clip, I'm going to try not to spoil it. But so far, I am really enjoying this book. It's definitely creepy, definitely eerie, definitely had me, scared at some moments, had me at the tip of my toes at some moments. I really am enjoying the haunted eeriness about it, and I'm also enjoying partially the mystery of it as well. I'm not gonna do any more reading tonight because I'm done. It was raining today, and I did me, but yeah, that's all I really have to say for now. Like, just come back once I'm done with White Smoke, which will probably be Tuesday. So I'll come back and I'll chat with y'all then. So I'll see y'all later. Bye.
A few inches later.
Hey y'all, so I am back and I finished White Smoke. It was right here. I'm gonna give it, I think I'm just gonna give it 3.5 stars. Let me just start off with, okay, so I'm just gonna start off with what I love about the book. I really liked about the book, that how haunting, like, I don't want to say it was haunting, but it was definitely creepy. It was definitely scary. Like, it definitely had, like, the way she was able to write that in, because not everybody is able to write a scary, haunting novel and able to write it well, to make it scary. You know what I mean? Some people are able to write, but you want to write a horror book, but are you able to make it scary? You know what I mean? And she did exactly that with this book. So 10, 10, 10s for that. Like, I really enjoyed that. But I have a little bit of issue. I'm gonna just keep it a bang. Well, for the most part, I do keep it a bang. I did not like the ending of this book. Follow me. You guys know, well, not all of you, but those of you who watch my reading vlogs or whatever, y'all know that I really enjoy books that have supernatural. Oh, and just be prepared that this book, I'm gonna be spoiling it a little bit. So like, if that bother you, you might want to skip past some. But I'm gonna make sure I let y'all know when it gets a little bit of spoiler. You know what I mean? What else was I say? Oh, you guys know that I enjoy supernatural elements within stories that I read, right? Whether it's magic, whether it's fantasy, whether it's, something paranormal, I enjoy that, right? And within this book, I kind of expected that to happen within this book, and it didn't. And how the story. Okay, so there's a plot twist. There's a plot twist that I just. I can't really suspend my disbelief for that plot twist because it's just not really believable. We're gonna get to that. I'm trying to do my non-spoilers first, and then I'm gonna get into my spoilers. It's just not really believable to me because certain haunting things that transpires within this house with the characters don't really, it's not really like, I can't really, me personally, I can't really suspend my disbelief um for the plot twist. You know how, like, you read or you watch something and the plot, we jigging with the plot, right? But it's like, it's a plot where it's like it can go, like, you think you know where it's gonna go, right? Like, it has room to go any other place, right? But you kind of can insinuate where it's gonna go, but it does a like a unexpected plot twist that's supposed to shock you, but it's kind of like, why did we do this? You know what I mean? It's not really like a, I can see how it shocks some people, but for me, it was kind of like, I thought this was going to be paranormal. Like, to me, I feel like I would have enjoyed the story a lot more if it would have went that paranormal, supernatural route. In regards to the ending. And also, what I want to say is that how it ended, it was kind of abrupt for me. I it was just a little abrupt for me. Like, I didn't really like how it didn't really give me anything with how it ended as well. This book does talk about, systematic racism, gentrification, addiction, phobia of bugs, the racism of American prison system, weed. I said addiction already, right? Um, I just think maybe we could have expanded on it just a little bit more. But I think this book is like 400 pages, three 373 373 pages. So I don't know. I think maybe we could have did something else a little bit, because I don't know. I don't know, but to me, it just really wasn't for me. It kind of gave me Get Out meets something. Um, because where this town is, there is, racism within this town, and also within this, it's a very small town. In this very small town, the black people are secluded in their own little area, which is where this house is located. And the higher ups who run this town are, white people. So, in this program that, I was talking about in regards to Marigold's mom being a part of, it is rigged by those said white people. So, this has that Get Out, type of thing for it. And I don't know, like, I know everybody want to kind of do their own version of Get Out, because Get Out is iconic. Like, I don't really know what else to tell you. Like, Jordan Peele, like, Get Out is iconic, and a lot of people do their remakes of it, which is fine. I have no issue with it. It's just, it just becomes a little tired for me. Like, no shade, but it's becoming a little tired, because when I read When Noah Was Watching, I did not like that book. It fell a little short when it came to the plot, because it's like, we're so focused on giving the girls our version of Get Out, where it's becoming like we're leaving plot holes within our stories. We're not really giving the audience the beef and potatoes of the story. Because we're so focused on trying to hit on the points of giving us, giving the audience our retelling or our, spiced up version of Get Out. That's the pattern I'm noticing when I'm reading these Get Out inspired books. Right? Now I'm gonna get into the spoilers, so go ahead and leave. This family needed therapy. Okay. Everybody is going to hell except Sammy. And I'm gonna let Marigold. I'm gonna give Marigold some grace because Marigold has an addiction, right? And more times than not, when you're dealing with people with an addiction, they don't think about anybody else but themselves and how to get their fix, right? So of course Marigold is going to have some selfish tendencies because she has an addiction, right? I have an issue with this mama. First of all, everybody is going to hell. Piper is a brat. I can have a little bit of sympathy for her because she lost her grandmother, but I'm not giving her anything else but that because she was mean and nasty. How am I like, y'all want people to be nice to y'all, but y'all are mean to people, right? Alec and Piper, y'all are entitled. Y'all think people are supposed to be nice to y'all, but y'all are mean to people. Y'all are mean to Marigold, and y'all expect her to be nice to y'all. I'm not following. Not only that, this mama, Miss Raquel, you gonna have to come to the front for me. In regards to your daughter having an addiction, why are you letting her self-medicate and not thinking in your brain that you need to put her in therapy? She has a phobia, a bedbug phobia. She, because of this bedbug phobia, and because of her anxiety and because of different things that happen and a couple of traumas that she has had, why wouldn't you think in your mind's eye, instead of making her take a fucking piss test every 3 to 4 days, maybe you should have put her in therapy? That didn't click. It didn't click in your brain, right? Okay. And also, why are you married to a man that does not get along with your kids? What is that? What is that? Why are we marrying people that don't get along with our children? You're gonna have to answer that to me. You're gonna have to give me some answers for that. I really don't know. And Alec, you're racist. You're racist. I don't really know how you ended up with Raquel in the first place. It's giving me desperate from both of y'all, but you're mean, you're nasty. You did not give any grace to Marigold, even though she has an addiction, she has different issues and different traumas. And also you showed favoritism to your daughter, Piper. Piper is 10 years old. The way you was treating her, I thought she was 5. I thought she was giving me 5 years old kindergarten tease. Apparently, she's on her way to middle school. Right? She's a spoiled brat. You treat her with favoritism. You be leaving and going, taking her out to eat, but you don't take the other kids out to eat. It's a problem for me. And then you get mad when the other kids don't want to be around you. They don't like you. Why would they like you though? You clearly show favoritism to your only child. Even though y'all are married, and essentially Raquel's kids are your kids. Why would anybody want to like you? And the underlying mistreatment that you have towards Marigold is nasty. Sammy is the only character throughout this story that is likable. He didn't bother nobody. All he did was, eat his little snacks, his little vegan snacks, and he went about his day. Everybody else, chop. Yusuf, you are very judgmental and you were so judgmental, and you don't even know Marigold like that. You only known her for like 2 weeks, and you were making all these type of statements as if you knew her. It was already a chop for me. And let me also say this. It is hard for me to suspend my disbelief because do y'all really want me to do y'all really want me to believe that a 10-year-old girl that a 10-year-old girl becomes friends in an alliance with a old woman that's living in her basement? I'm sorry. I have a 10-year-old sister. My 10-year-old sister is not going to be friend. You can't be that desperate for friends. I mean, that's probably a little nasty coming from me, right? But here is how she is described in the story. So, Miss Sugar is the lady who is haunting the house, right? At first, we thought it was a ghost spirit haunting the house. But apparently, Miss Sugar is the lady living. This was her house, but she was living in the basement. She is described by smelling terrible, right? Imagine this. An old decrepit lady in her 80s, black lady, who looks like they have not showered, right? Teeth rotted, right? Smell like death, right? You know, skin black, skin just, right? Because they supposedly died in a fire. So imagine how her skin looks. Just imagine how she looks, right? Probably anorexic. Like, imagine how she looks, right? You want me to believe that a 10-year-old befriends this lady? And I'm sorry, but I have a 10-year-old sister. I do not believe that she would go and befriend a old, nasty, decrepit lady who smells and looks scary as hell. If anything, I would think most 10-year-olds would be fucking scared. I know for a fact that my sister would run up here terrified. Maybe it's just different. Now, if it was a 5-year-old, I can kind of suspend my disbelief. And let me tell you why. Little kids would befriend anybody. Most of them. Some little kids would befriend anyone, right? Like, I can suspend my disbelief that a little kid, like a 5-year-old, would befriend this lady because how young they are. And kids that age don't tend to judge, if that makes sense. Like, some 5-year-olds would be terrified, but there are some 5-year-olds that would befriend this lady. You know what I mean? Like, there are some 5-year-olds who wouldn't be scared of her. You know what I mean? But a 10-year-old, it's a little bit too aware to watch a lady come out of the basement and do things around the house. And not only that, Piper, this lady almost killed that girl brother. This lady was out here doing stuff around the house, and you knew, and you was letting her do it. I really cannot, like, suspend my disbelief. Like, it's doing a lot. It's doing a lot. So I really did enjoy the slow build of, like, things happening in regards, in, like, the house. You know, the creepy things that were happening in the house. But when stuff started happening in regards to, like, you know, us finding out about those were actual people, it just happened so fast for me. Like, how were those people, like, and it happened so fast for me. And the church and pastor thing that was happening throughout the book, I thought there was going to be a connection to that. There was no connection. I don't really understand. I mean, I understand how it was needed within, it caused dialogue within the story, but it wasn't really needed in regards of serving the plot. Things were not expanded on as much as I thought. I said that already, but yeah, it was just a lot. It's just a lot for me. Like, I can't really suspend my disbelief. I'm so sorry about it. Like, Huh? You want me to believe that a 10-year-old befriended a old, decrepit, nasty looking lady? It would be believable if she looked friendable. She doesn't look friendable. And that's not me coming for her looks, because that lady has been through a lot. But I can't. And why would you befriend the little white girl? Something about that just doesn't seem right to me. I mean, I know she's the youngest out of the family, but something about it just gives me tap dancing energy. You know what I mean? I don't know. This has turned into a rant. I didn't mean to turn this into a rant, but I just have so many thoughts. Those are my thoughts. I already started Monday's Not Coming. So in regards to Monday's Not Coming is about a girl named Claudia, and she is best friends with a girl named Monday. And Monday has gone missing. She did not show up this school year, and she is trying to figure out where her best friend is. She's been to her mom's house, and her mom told her not to come back and told her basically that she's with her father, but she doesn't believe it. And so apparently Monday has been in an abusive household, and she just wants to know what happened to her best friend. And yeah, so we're basically following that story. It's very heart-wrenching. It's very heart-wrenching. Monday has siblings, August and Tuesday. I don't think they showed up to school either, but yeah, Claudia is basically trying to find her best friend. She's basically asking teachers. It's basically showing us how disposable black children are to society, basically. But we're still trying to figure out what happened to Monday. We basically know what happened to Monday, but we really are trying to find out what actually happened to Monday. But yeah, that's Monday's Not Coming. I am definitely enjoying the story so far. Monday and Claudia were very close, to the point where Claudia doesn't even really have an identity without Monday. So we're basically trying to navigate that as well. So far, I am enjoying the story. I am really enjoying the writing. So we're navigating abuse. We're navigating child neglect. We're navigating friendships. We're navigating a lot. We're navigating little black girls living in society. We're navigating a lot. I definitely feel like I'm gonna get emotional while reading, like finishing this book, because I'm like 50% in. But I'll come back and I'll give my thoughts on it once y'all see me again. But yeah, that is Monday's Not Coming, and that's all. But yeah, I will see you guys in my next clip. Bye. And I finished this book like 3-4 days ago. I'm exhausted. I got off work like an hour ago. I just been like, I'm just physically exhausted. Like, I don't know what's going on. Well, I'm tired. That's what's going on. But so let's go ahead and start with the rating. So I'm gonna give Monday's Not Coming, I'm gonna give it a 3.5. Monday's Not Coming is very triggering. For those of you who don't know, it's a lot of homophobia, child abuse, racism, slut shaming, bullying. It's a lot of that going on. So like, here, what I'm noticing by finishing, this is my second book, right? I hope there's not a pattern of like, we write really good in the beginning and throughout the book you kind of have me, and then once we get to the end of the book you lost me. You know what I mean? I hope this is not like a pattern, because like I can't do it. But I will say I love the storytelling of Monday's Not Coming. I love how she used the use of colors to describe the characters throughout the book. I thought that was really like I love that. That's probably like my favorite part of the book. I also love the approach of telling a story that happens a lot with black children being easily forgotten and being disposed Um, I enjoyed the story of that because black children are not cared about in society, and to take this story of Monday's not coming and to present that story and write it that way, like I like that part of the book. Because people don't care about children, especially black children. I'm just not a fan of the plot twist. Like, if this story would have did something different, like not no plot twist, maybe if we went into figuring out what happened, and like, okay, I understand that if she doesn't do her plot twists, her books are easily predictable, right? But the plot twist also has to make sense. And you can't keep relying on the audience to keep suspending their disbelief just so they can have a great plot twist. You know what I mean? Like when it comes to like the structuring of the plot, I'm just like, I'm not following. Um so there's that. So I'm gonna go ahead and get into my spoilers. So like, if you go ahead and leave, just go ahead and leave. Okay, so spoilers. Um, Everybody is going to hell except Claudia. And here's the thing: I'm gonna give Claudia some grace, even though she was annoying as hell. And I'm not even gonna say a bit. She was very obsessive and very possessive over Monday, because Claudia has no identity outside of Monday. So Monday being gone kind of forced her to find out who she is as a person. And yeah, so I'm gonna give Claudia some grace. Plus she's 14, right? Like, well, she's a teenager. So, I have to extend some grace to her for that. But everybody else is going to hell. Claudia's parents is going to hell. They are going to the underworld. Wait, go ahead and call up Hades and Persephone and tell them they got new people on the way, because Claudia's parents are on the way there. Because what? It's just so crazy because, like, y'all see this girl every day, right? Y'all see this girl every day, and y'all had an inkling that something was going on because she just disappeared out of nowhere. She just disappeared out of nowhere, and y'all did not care, especially her father. Her father is weird. Her father is weird. Whatever that boy name is, the little love interest, he's a weirdo too. Like, y'all are weird. Y'all are weird. Especially her dad, when the mom was like, "Oh, I kind of feel like something has happened to Monday." He was just kind of like, "Oh, ain't that's what y'all women do? Y'all just very misogynistic." You know what I mean? It just wasn't giving. It was giving disgusting. Um, Monday's parents are going to hell. Especially, well, the mama especially is going to hell, but that daddy is going to hell too, because if you wanted to go see your kids, you need to go see your kids. And you talking about, oh, you didn't want to go see your kids because she made you pay child support. I mean, y'all have 4 kids. You have 4 kids with this lady. The least you could have did was pay child support. Clearly, you wasn't visiting them, because if you did, you would have saw the living conditions they were in. But you didn't give a fuck until 2 of your children died. Anyways, Claudia's teacher is going to hell. Okay, so Claudia has a disability. I think she has dyslexia. Apparently Monday has been helping this girl out with her homework because they be around each other every day. But as a teacher, how come you did not know, like, right? And this teacher was like, oh, she thought of it, but she just brushed it off. Y'all are going to hell. Because this girl is literally about to go to high school, and she just now found out that she had a disability. And the reason why I say Claudia's parents are going to help, because y'all around here blaming the teachers, as y'all should, but as a parent, are you not interacting with your child enough to not see that they may have a disability? Like, y'all don't be sitting at the dinner table reading, or you know what I mean? Like, how come you don't? Whatever. Um, the social workers are going to hell because y'all were not doing y'all visits properly to go make sure that, first of all, if you're gonna give someone who has had an abusive case with their children, if you're going to give them back their kids, you need to be doing like weekly visits. As social workers, you should be doing like weekly visits. Y'all weren't making no visits, so these children were being in here abused by this lady, and now y'all looking crazy because y'all been fired from y'all jobs and y'all being sued. I'm not mad at the daddy for suing them, as he should, but he ain't shit either. So, white people on Goodreads that are rating this book 3 and under are racist, and it's giving me anti-black. Because, okay, I can see not being a fan of the plot twist with the book. I can see that, but y'all going. The reason why y'all are giving the book a 3 is not why black people are giving the book a 3. Stay with me. Y'all are giving this book a 3 or 2 or 1 and talking about, oh, why didn't they just find Monday, or like, oh, why didn't they just put in a missing report, oh, why did the social workers not go? Here's the thing. The whole point of this book is to address the racism that goes on within these systems, right? That is the entire point of Monday's Not Coming. And y'all need to go back and read the book, because y'all are out here talking about, oh, why didn't the police just go find Monday? That's the point. That's the point. That's the point, that people who work within these systems do not care about black children. That's the point of the book Monday's Not Coming. Go back and read the book again. Okay, go back and read the book again. We don't want to hear that. We don't want to hear that. So for the white folks that are giving Monday's Not Coming 1, 2, 3 because you just feel like Monday should have just been found, or Monday should have had people around her who cared about her, that's the thing. That's the point. Not many people care about young black girls. Okay? Go back and read the book again. Anyway. Let's go ahead and get into this plot twist. So for those of you who are just watching just to watch, I'm gonna just run my mouth anyway. So the plot twist is, we're going through all of these events, right? Claudia is doing all of this to go find Monday, blah, blase, squaze. And come to find out, Claudia has these episodes where she thinks that, where she forgets that Monday is gone, right? So apparently, Claudia is not 14. She's actually 16. And Monday has passed away 2 years ago. And she has these, episodes where she forgets that Monday has left. So her parents told people around the town and in the community that they live in to pretend that, Monday, that she's still looking for Monday. So they basically let people around her lead her by the nose to make her believe that Monday is still here, and she's still trying to find Monday, and look for the so as parents, you don't say, my child has these episodes, and because she has these episodes, let's put her in therapy. No, we're not going to put her in therapy. We're going to let people around our community know and tell them to, she has these episodes. This may help her, so lead her by the nose. But I'm not understanding because even the teacher who what's her name? I don't remember her name, but the teacher who she would talk to about Monday, she ended up moving to New York. So I'm trying to figure out how you was able to contact this teacher in the beginning of the book. Right? Was this a replay of memory? And here's the thing, like this book has this the before, the after, the before, the before, the after. And that was confusing me because how am I supposed to think about this in structural time and also put this structural time against Claudia's memory loss? Like, how am I supposed to? Because she has this memory loss, and then you have the before, the before, the after, the before, the after. Like, how am I supposed to, like? It's just not, like, no. Because when I was reading it, I was like, okay, first of all, I already knew Monday was never coming back. As soon as I got an inkling that her mom was abusive, I already knew Monday was not coming back. Let's be clear. So it wasn't that I thought Monday was coming back or anything. That's not what I was expecting from the story. What I was expecting, that we were going to find out what happened to Monday, and it was going to be a lesson on how we should care more about Black children in the community. And, have commentary on, how Black people discipline their children, on you know, how Black people should care more about the children in our community, and also give commentary on how society in general don't care about Black children, which it did, but I'm just not I'm not feeling it. Was not, like, I don't know, like, it just threw me off. Love the lesson of Monday's not coming. It's just the plot of, like, Claudia and her memory loss and that whole thing. No. I can't, like, I don't know. Like, I may sound disappointed. Well, I kind of am. Like, I can't make authors do things with their books. It's their book, right? But, like, at least make it make some sort of sense, like, I don't know. But yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and start The Weight of Blood. I'm probably not gonna start it tonight because I'm exhausted. I probably will start it tomorrow morning. And yeah. Hey y'all, so I am back. It's been a minute. I think it's been like a little over a week. It's either been a week or a little over a week. I don't remember, but it's definitely been like a week. Since I last did like a clip or anything. I did finish The Weight of Blood. I think yesterday, either yesterday or the day before yesterday. And well, you know what? It was the day before yesterday, and I wanted to do notes yesterday. That's what happened, because I wanted to write out all of my thoughts and stuff, because so this book does follow a girl named Maddie Washington, and she is biracial. She has a white supremacist father who she lives with, and her mom, we don't know. They said her mom died in childbirth, but that sounds like a lie, of course. They said her mom died in childbirth, and they basically live in this small town called Springfield? And in this small town is very racist. this small town is very racist. They still have the lynching bell that goes off throughout the day. And Maddie is white passing, so she straightens her hair. She's white passing, so like if people ask her what her race is, she says she's white. So she even so at some point she doesn't even go outside if it rains because she doesn't want her hair to frizz up. She is outside during gym time and it starts raining and her hair get frizzed up, and people around her find out that she's black and that she's been hiding her blackness. But she hasn't been hiding her blackness as a choice. It's really been by force, right? Addie, she has been getting bullied before people found out she was black, just because she was weird. She wore poodle skirts and all that stuff. So one day, this girl by the name of Jules, she's overtly racist, like she's just nasty. She was throwing pencils or something in her hair because her hair got frizzed up, and people were recording it, and it made news outlets, and it went viral and all that stuff. So kind of combat the schools, being known for racism type thing. Wendy, Wendy decides that they should not do a segregated prom, that they should do an all together prom, because they were still having segregated proms. Mind you, this book takes place in 2014, and we'll get to that. So Wendy is she's supposed to be the I'm not like other white people type of racist, but she's still racist because she uses black people to make herself feel better and for her own personal gain, because she is dating this popular black guy who goes by the name of Kenny, and he's like a football player, so he's known for that, and he's dating this white girl, and she basically is this poor white girl, Wendy, and she's basically using him to plan out her life, be this football player's wife, try to accumulate some type of wealth, some type of income, because she's poor. But she planned this prom, and she decided to ask Kenny to take Maddie to prom so it can look good for the school, so it can look good for herself, so she can seem like she's this good person. And that is kind of how this book follows. I'm going to give this book a 3.5 stars. What I did like about the book is that the book was very compelling. Tiffany D. Jackson knows how to write a compelling story. Don't hate this book, but I also don't really like it. Like I'm not like it was just okay to me. Out of the books I read, if you ask me what Tiffany D. Jackson book to read, I would probably tell you The Weight of Blood, because I've read this what is it? White Smoke and Monday's Not Coming. I would probably recommend The Weight of Blood, to be honest. According to the girls on Goodreads, this book is just it's a Carrie retelling, but it's a Carrie retelling word for word. Now I've watched Carrie. I think I watched all of the Carries, like all of the versions, at least one time, but that was years ago. I'm not a horror girl, but I have family members and I have friends that love the horror genre, so I kind of am familiar with the horror genre by force. You know what I mean? Like by force, because like I don't do horror and thrillers, but like my sisters love to watch horror. My grandma loves to watch horror. One of my best friends loves to watch horror. So it's kind of like, I'm familiar with it in my lifetime, but like I'm not a big horror girl. So I didn't really know it. I knew this would be her version of a Carrie, but the girls are saying it's a Carrie retelling word for word. So, yeah, but this is a trigger. Like, if you do plan on reading this book, this is a trigger warning. Like, child abuse, religion abuse, bullying, police brutality, overt racism, colorism, microaggressions. Like it's all in it. Okay, so like if you plan on reading it, that's okay. So yeah, this is gonna be the things that I did not like. When is the line kind of drawn when it's like plot holes or left for your interpretation? Like, what is that? Like, what is a plot hole and when is something left for your interpretation? Because I feel like there's like a teetering line. Like some of the stuff in this book, I feel like we should have got a little bit more of. I think maybe it was left off for the audience to interpret. The ending was disappointing. The ending was disappointing. Like I don't know what I really expected the ending to be, but I wish that we got a little more. I wish we got a little more, as to what happened to Maddie and what happened to Kenny and, that type of way. Why did that girl survive? And I'm gonna just keep it short. Why is she still alive? That person should be dead. Why is she alive? Anyway, white people who are critiquing Tiffany D. Jackson books, like, okay, I really don't want to be the black person that's like, oh, look, I don't want white people who gave this book 3 stars and under to be like, oh, there's a black person who gets it. Like, I'm not, okay, so yeah, let's, no, because when I was looking on Goodreads, white people who give Tiffany D. Jackson books 3 stars and under are giving it for a different reason as black people giving the book a 3 stars and under, right? It's two totally different things. You don't really get it, right? Because these are black stories being told by a black person that kind of teeters the line of being palatable for white people. So like I think The Way the Blood is kind of the only story that's kind of palatable more so for a white audience because of the characters that are written in this book are sort of palatable for white people, and also because of the commentary that was left in regards to some of the social commentary in the book. I think this book should have had more nuance and commentary, a little bit on the racial topics displayed. The commentary on colorism, segregation, racism, all of that. It is a lot. Like, I personally feel like if this book took place in like the 50s or 60s, it would work a lot better. Like, I'm not saying that there is no small town in America that still is racist to this extent, because there are sundown towns that still exist, right? So I'm not saying suspend your disbelief for that. I just think that if this book took place in the 50s or 60s, that we could have implemented more into the writing, and into the story that would make a little bit more sense in a way. Like, I think the book would have worked a lot more and would have flowed a lot better if it would have taken place in the 50s or 60s. I also wish that this story was focused on Maddie more than the characters, because we're all around, like, in the character's head. We're in Kenny's head. We're in Wendy's head. We're in Jules, seeing what Jules and her boyfriend is doing. It's like we really don't get to know Maddie in the way. We should have been more in Maddie's point of view in regards to her studying telekinesis and maybe her searching around the house and finding things about her mom, because she really didn't find out about her mom until like the end of the book, right? So it's kind of like, I think we could have did a little more with Maddie, because I did not like any of the characters. Like, I did not have a connection with any of the characters. I did not like any of the characters. None of the characters were likable. Like, I think Maddie could have been likable if she was centered a little more. Um, Wendy is the worst character. Um, of course, Jules is trash and raggedy because she's nasty, coming to school in blackface and doing all this racial, just being nasty. But Wendy is a different type of nasty, because she will manipulate and use people to gain, for personal gain, and do it to black people for personal gain, right? Like, that's like a different type of person. And then she was written to be one of the ally white people in the book, but was still being racist. It wasn't like she was being overly racist, but she was still being racist because she was doing this and doing that, and uh manipulating her black boyfriend to do things that he didn't want to do, so she can have this, low-key personal gain, because everything is a personal gain for her because she's a poor white girl. And it's like, I don't see Wendy getting dragged enough, and she honestly should be dragged just as much as Jules, in my opinion. Jules and all the other people in the racist town can go to hell, but Wendy can also go to hell too, because I don't know why she's this white savior at the end of the book. Like, I'm not seeing it for her. I never have saw it for her, and it never will be seen for her, because I don't know what that little piece of redemption arc that was. It was kind of like a thin paper, a thin veil of redemption. Like, girl, go to hell. Anyway, some stuff in the book was a bit foolish. Like, some stuff Tiffany D. Jackson does in the book, like, I'm trying to wrap my mind around it, because it seems like when Tiffany D. Jackson writes, she can write some metaphors, she can write some similes, she can, write some good ass figurative language. But when it comes to like the plot and assessing the plot, I'm kind of like, okay, is she reading what she's writing? You know what I mean? Like, is she one of those people who just be writing and just, she has a natural talent of writing, right? But is she really reading and assessing the plot? Because like, some of the stuff she writes in the book, it's like, okay, you have to go along with it. And also when you write horror, there's a belief that you're gonna have to suspend, right? Because it's horror, it's thriller, sometimes you're gonna have to suspend your disbelief, right? But some of the stuff I don't really understand. Like, people in this, okay, like, this man who has been living in this small ass town for like generations on end has a child that, like, nobody knows about. Like, like, am I really supposed to believe that nobody really knows about this child? Like, come on. And also, like, the Wendy and Kenny relationship, like, that could have been expanded more on, because that would have been interesting to expand on a lot more. Okay, so Maddie has been bullied previously, before they even found out she was black, right? But with them finding out that she is half black, it's a whole issue. But it is okay for Wendy and Kenny to be in a relationship. Like that doesn't like it's that contradiction is kind of hard for me to compute because how are you guys going to be okay with Wendy dating this black guy, but when Maddie is found that she is half black, now it's like it causes a ruckus. Like I'm like, and I'm not trying to say that because that Maddie is biracial that she won't experience racism, because she will experience racism. It's not gonna be on the level of like in the book what Kenny's sister said. It's not gonna be on the level that she experiences because she's a dark skinned woman, which that colorism conversation was kind of like because Maddie is not Maddie is being forced to pass, right? It's not like she's choosing to pass, she's being forced to pass, she's being abused, right? So like that could have been written a little better. Some of the stuff in the book was a bit like to me, because like what it was just that for me. Like it was just okay. I did start Grown. I started Grown today. I got the audiobook for Grown 2 days ago. Was it yesterday? And I started it today. I am like halfway in. I think I'm like on chapter 44, something like that. I'm like halfway in. I went on the internet, and the girls on the internet is saying that this is a R. Kelly retelling. Are reading it, it kind of is giving that. So I'm gonna give a brief synopsis of Grown. Grown is about this girl named Enchanted, and I think she lives in New York, and she is the oldest, and I think she has 3 younger siblings. I think she has 2 little siblings. I don't remember, but she definitely has multiple little siblings, and then she has like a teenager sister. And Enchanted is 17 years old, and she wants to sing. She is a swimmer. She swims, like she's an athlete, and she is in high school, and she tries out at this audition type thing for singing or whatever. And a R&B artist by the name of Corey Fields is there. And Corey Fields, he is this popular R&B artist or whatever, and he takes a liking to Enchanted, and they start talking low key. He gives her his phone number. They're talking low key and stuff like that, and they've been going to the studio together, and he promised her all these things, He persuades her family or whatever to try and get her to go on tour with him, so she can be this next big artist, because he recorded them singing one time, and that video went viral, and people wanted to like sign her and stuff like that. So she started going on tour with him, and that is kind of how we got here. So far she is still 17, and Corey Fields is, I think, 28 years old. Yeah, it's getting weird. Anyway, but yeah, so far this story is very uncomfortable. Be prepared for abuse, prepared to be uncomfortable. Yeah, I'm not gonna say I'm enjoying it, because I'm not really enjoying it. I don't know, like, it's giving me the ick. Like, it's just giving me the ick. It's just giving me the ick. But I am interested to see how the story is gonna play out, because apparently she she's in a hotel room and Corey Fields is dead. But I am interested to see how that plays out and what actually happened to Corey Fields while Enchanted was in that room or whatever. Because in between scenes, like in between like chapters, we get bits and pieces of scenes about Corey Fields' potential death, like in regards to what happened before. Yeah, I'll see you guys in my next clip. Bye.
A lot of boring math later.
Hey y'all, so I am back and I finished Grown yesterday and I did my notes yesterday, and today I'm going to go ahead and talk about it and get this vlog, finished out. So, yeah. Um I'm going to rate this book. Well, I'm going to give this book 2 stars. Um this book was just not for me. But this, if you plan on reading this book, this is an ultimate trigger warning for child abuse, drug abuse, SA, grooming, a lot. So please be prepared for that if you plan on reading this book. This book was very uncomfortable to read. Like, it was very uncomfortable to read, but that was the point of the book, and I do think the execution of that was well done, because the point of this book is to have the conversation about, black girls not being believed, black girls being groomed, black girls being abused, black women being abused. It is addressing that heavy topic. And, this book was so uncomfortable, and it did what it needed to do in a way to make the audience see that this happens to, real people on a daily basis, right? And has happened to little girls, right? And this story also shows how people enable abusers, and I understand she wanted to raise awareness, about this topic, but it was just not, to me, it was just not really executed well. Like, she took a story that's already was a story, which we'll get to. It's like she literally took the story verbatim, added a twist to it, and call it a mystery thriller, which is not really much of, I guess, because it's a murder in this, which is not really much of a mystery. But yeah, um that's all I have to say on that. So that's all I have to say on that without spoiling it, because the only way I can really talk about this and give out my thoughts is by spoiling it. So yeah, that's all the non-spoilers. We're just gonna go ahead and first problem with this book is that this is a full version of the R. Kelly documentary story. Like, this the point of view of this story is kind of is like a point of view of someone who has had an encounter with R. Kelly. That's what it is. Like, this story seems like Tiffany D. Jackson watched the R. Kelly documentary and wrote it verbatim. When I was done listening to this audiobook, and at the end when they do the dedication and all that, in the dedication, it was like, this is not a book about R. Kelly. I literally screamed out, what? I was sweeping at work. We were closed, but this was before we was opening the store, and I was sweeping. And when he said, like, oh, this is not inspired by R. Kelly, I literally said, what? Out loud, like, excuse me? Because this, like, at this point, you're literally playing in my face. Like, you're literally playing in my face, because this story is literally like down to Corey Fields having a wife nobody knew, down to the girls being left in the room for hours with no food, no water, having to pee in buckets, down to him going to high schools and trying to, talk to young girls, down to him going to different type of events and trying to talk to young girls and get them to sing for him, down to the 15-year-old girl that he had on tour with him as well, along with the 17-year-old girl Enchanted, down to him being this well-respected R&B artist, down to even Corey Fields playing in gospel music as well. Like, this was literally a R. Kelly retelling with a twist added onto it. And then you're gonna have the nerve to try and tell me that this story is not an R. Kelly retelling. Like, allegedly, like, please be serious. Like, that whole statement was literally a play, like, you're playing in my face. Here's the thing, in like the end of the book, in like the author's note, she said that, partially what inspired her to write this book was that she had her first boyfriend at 15 and he was 22 or something like that. And now that I'm thinking about it, I'm like, well, why not maybe write your story? You know what I mean? Instead of doing like a carbon copy of the R. Kelly documentary, like, why not write your story? Now, like, I understand you probably don't want your personal business into a novel, right? Something that was more than likely traumatic to you in a novel, right? But why not like take a little bit of those elements and make it fiction? You know what I mean? Like, you don't have to make it an entire exhortation of like your story, but why not take a little bit of pieces and elements of your relationship with this 22-year-old, make it a fictional novel instead of making a carbon copy of the surviving R. Kelly documentary. You know what I mean? Like, we could have did something like that. You're playing in my face. You literally took the R. Kelly documentary and you added a murder on into it and created your own twist with it. Like you're really adamant about this not being inspired by R. Kelly, and like, am I supposed to sit here and believe you? Like, are we supposed to sit here and believe you? Because we don't. Um, my other issues, who edited this book? Who edited this book? Like, was there even an editor? Here's my thing, like, when does it become? Like, I understand you wanting to do a plot twist to try and give, something different for the reader and for the audience, but like, your plot twist is going to have to make sense. Like, your plot twist can't be so much for shock value than it is that it makes sense in the actual book. Like, that is the issue that I'm having here. Um, like, she did more talking from, like, you did more talking about, like, you did more copy and pasting of the R. Kelly documentary than actually adding and implementing your own ideas. The only own idea that you added into this is these plot twists. And I guess you can say some of the unnecessary subplots that were added in there, but um out of all the books that I've read, which is White Smoke, Monday's Not Coming, The Weight of Blood, and um this one has the worst writing in my opinion. Like, it was very, it just it wasn't it just wasn't, I don't know, it felt rushed. Like, it felt rushed. Um and it's also not much of a mystery or a thriller. Like, I don't know, like, if is it because a murder is involved that is, you know quoted as a thriller. And I guess you could say it is sort of a mystery because of the other subplots that was in here, which we'll get to that. But like, A thriller? No, not really. Um, the questioning my sanity subplot, like I did not like that subplot at all because to me it feels I am not the person to be having the ableism conversation with because I don't have the range. But to me, that feels it feels it just feels wrong to me because by the details in the book, I'm going to assume that Enchanted Enchanted's grandmother is schizophrenic, maybe. Just by the details of what we did get in the book, and maybe Enchanted. Well, what was written in the book, it seemed like Enchanted had some schizophrenic type of thing going on in regards to the questioning my sanity type of subplot that was going on. It just feels, I don't want to say offensive, but like I have people in my family who have schizophrenia, and it just it just like this questioning my sanity of is this stuff actually going on subplot just for it to be like a twist about somebody else's identity. It I don't know, it just was a bit weird, I guess, to me. um some of the stuff that happens in this book is just unrealistic to me as well. Like you you want me to you want me to believe that Enchanted passed out, got up again, killed this man, and passed out again. Like, because the way that he died, apparently, she was getting assaulted by him. Uh, Someone who worked for him came in, stabbed him, left out the room, and then he fell in the bed. He couldn't really do much because he got stabbed. Then she passed out. Then she woke up, saw him on the bed. He was trying to get up. She got up, stabbed him, and passed out. Like, am I like, am I like supposed to like? Anyway, and then Gabriella, the white passing Latinx friend that is real, but people were questioning. So that whole part plays a part into um the mental illness trope, questioning my sanity trope, because she was like, "Oh, I have this best friend named Gabriella. We in school every day. She hasn't been responding to my text messages, my phone calls, this, and this." Apparently, she went missing in her fake ass witness protection ass program. It was that she done made up or some shit because she just changed her phone number, went missing, even though you knew your best friend was in danger. You just went missing, like whatever. Anyway, but apparently nobody in the school knew her because her real name is Olivia, but her real name is Olivia because her dad said that she needs a white name, so she goes by Olivia at school, but her real name is Gabriella. I'm like, or whatever the fuck. I don't fucking know. I don't care. It's dumb. Um, like how do like what like so like nobody in school like knew of this girl. Like what? Like you mean tell me nobody knew of you because you got two different names? Normally in schools, people know your two different. Okay, anyway, and people see y'all hang out in school every day. That y'all are only friends. Y'all are y'all's only friends. So like, I'm not following. Anyway, um, Corey Fields wasn't really developed enough, even though he is a R. Kelly. Like, he literally is just an R. Kelly copy character. Like, he's just younger. That's it. Like, I really don't have nothing else for that. Um, cause the performing for the grandma scene, that's what I meant to talk about. the performing for the grandma scene that happened before the interrogation, where she was like, "Oh, perform for me and my friends," and she was like, "They're empty chairs." That's what made me kind of believe that maybe she was schizophrenic. That may be ableist me trying to like put a a title on what their mental illness was or is. But just by that, that's what I was just thinking that it was, because even throughout like the end of the book, um when Enchanted was going through her, like, I guess, episodes, she was kind of like hearing voices in her head and things of that sort. So that's what I was thinking, but who the fuck knows? So also I have questions because the Jessica assistant and Richie age storyline does not make any fucking sense. Um, so Jessica, the assistant of Corey Fields, planned, and Richie, who was also one of the, he was in his camp or some shit. I don't fucking know what he did. I don't give a damn. He was like, they had this pact of, you're gonna stab Corey Fields, and we're gonna manage his estate, and we're gonna have all this money. And apparently Jessica was doing this as a revenge type of thing, because she was promised, he promised her that he was gonna make her a star or whatever. And I'm just like, how? Like, she's 35 and he is 28. I'm not saying like, I'm not saying that it's not possible for him to make her a star because she's older, but like, when did y'all meet? You know what I mean? Like, it was said in the story that Richie, which is the guy, the producer or whatever in his camp that stabbed him for Jessica because they had their little pact. It was said that he introduced Jessica to him. So I'm kind of trying to figure out, like, when did this like transpire? Like, does age even have to do with any of this? Like, I'm not following, because it was also said in like one of the parts of the book that on a picture where Corey was 14, when he went to the Grammys when he was 14, it was said that on that picture Jessica was next to him in that picture. So if Richie introduced you to her when you were 14, she was what, like, in her early 20s? So I'm like, I'm trying to figure this out here. Like, is she the woman that he slept with when he was 14? Like, because that was also said in the story too, that he, lost his virginity when he was 14 at the Grammys in the closet by some older lady. So I'm just trying to figure out, like, what, because, huh? Because in the book, Jessica's age was like this spectacle, but apparently she's 35. So I'm I guess that's the only thing that would make sense. Like, I don't know. Support group, that was this group within this book, with Enchanted, and I think the girl Amber, you know, that was a disappointment, because that whole support group meetup thing with all the other victims, that was supposed to be the highlight of the story, and it was a waste. It was a waste. Um, I I see what we were supposed to do with this book, but it was just not it for me. Like, no. Um, no. It's a no for me. It's a no for me. Like, no. I did not enjoy this book. Um, I do see what the message was supposed to be. Yeah, this was just an R. Kelly retelling with a splash of a plot twist. I'll probably do a wrap up later tonight. I'm just over it. I'm just over it. But yeah, I will see y'all later when I come back and do the final wrap up. Hey y'all, so I just got home from work And I wanted to go ahead and just, do this wrap up and close this video out so I can go ahead and get this video uploaded, because I've been editing, as I go, because it's just easier that way. I've been thinking about like the books and how I feel about them and stuff like that. And I think I have a solidified feeling about the books. So yeah, in regards to ratings, in regards to how I feel about the plots, all of it. So the first book we read was White Smoke, and I'm gonna go ahead and give White Smoke 3 stars. 3 stars is how I feel. Okay, and then Monday's Not Coming is what we read on, well, it's what we listened to on audio on Libby, and the book we read was The Weight of Blood. I kind of want to give this book 3.5 a little bit, but like 3.5 is too close to 4, and for me this book was not 4 for me. Like this book was not a 4 for me, so like I'm gonna just leave it at a 3, right? Like it's not a 2.5 for me, but it's also not like a 3.5 for me. So, it's just best to keep it at a 3 for The Weight of Blood. The last book I read by Tiffany D. Jackson is Grown. Grown was a last minute type of thing. It's just gonna get 2 stars. I kind of want to give it 2.5 stars, but it's just 2 stars. Like, it's just 2 stars. The conclusion that I came up with after book vlog, I did this book vlog because I wanted to see what Tiffany D. Jackson was all about, because I was just curious, because everybody talks about her and rave about her books and how good her writing is and all that. And like after reading 4 of her novels, I do see and understand why people love her. People love her writing and her novels, right? But me personally, it's just not for me. Here's the thing, like Tiffany D. Jackson, she writes books about heavy topics, right? And because of that, she is going to have an audience of people who are like, who love her and who, her books are not for. You know what I mean? And for me, it's just not for me. Like, I understand the hype around her, because as a writer, I understand the hype because she has a good writing style. She has good writing. Like she can write really well. She can have you intrigued within the book. Like, like I see that. But then like, when you get to the end of the book, when you get to the plot twist she has in her books, I'm just like, okay, it's just not, it's not for me. It's not for me. And you know what? That is okay. But I do respect her as a writer. When it comes to how she can get you intrigued within the book, when it comes to how she's able to use her figurative language within the book, for example, like the beginning of Monday's Not Coming with the, color thing, with like using the colors to describe the characters, and even in White Smoke, like the beginning of White Smoke, I was intrigued. Like, I was scared. Like, she is able to write horror and have you scared and have you intrigued, right? Like, some of the stuff I'm just like, we're doing a lot. We're doing a lot. And I can see how other people enjoy, the a lot of stuff that she does. But for me, it's like, we doing a lot. You know what I mean? We doing a lot. We doing a lot. But I'm gonna be honest. I really, cause like, I just, when you read stuff about, some people only give authors 2 chances. I gave her 4, and it's just like, I be seeing the vision, but the vision just don't be executed well enough for me. In certain terms and conditions, depending on what book we talking about. But yeah, I respect Tiffany D. Jackson as a writer. I do. But some of the plots, I just be like, okay, how many times are we gonna take a story of somebody else's and remix it? You know what I mean? Like, no shade, but like, it's when does it become right? But that's it. Like, I'm gonna be honest, the book that I enjoyed the most, Weight of Blood, and the beginning, and I'm gonna say White Smoke as well. So I'm not gonna sit here and act like I did not enjoy White Smoke, because I did. The only problem for me with that was the plot twist. So yeah, those were the books I enjoyed the most. The book that I think had the best writing. Mm, White Smoke and Monday's Not Coming kind of had the best writing. See, the thing with Monday's Not Coming is it's the time, like the time, the before, the after, the after. If we didn't have that in there, I think it would be Monday's Not Coming. That's the only thing that bothers me in regards to like the writing of Monday's Not Coming. If you plan on reading a Tiffany D. Jackson book, the one I would recommend you read first, I don't fucking know. I would either say White Smoke or The Weight of Blood. I don't know. I feel like if I recommend Monday's Not Coming to some people, they're gonna be pissed. And I respect that. If I had to had to recommend a book to someone, like one of these books that I read, I don't know. Me personally, I don't think the books are worth me recommending because of the ending. Like, I know that seems petty, but like, don't nobody want to sit and take time out of their day to read a book just for it to be a a ending that's just not appealing, because then it's gonna piss people off, and then they're gonna be like, why the hell you recommended this? Yeah, and you're not finna blame me for that. So like I said before, if I had to recommend you read a book, I would probably say White Smoke. And that's not for real, because I honestly wouldn't recommend anybody really read these. But like, if you had a Tiffany D. Jackson book, I would say, hey, go for it. But like, I'm not gonna be like, oh yes, I love this book, this was my favorite book of all like, I'm not doing all that. If I see you with the book and you say how you feel about this book, I'm gonna tell you how I feel. And it may be for you, because what it seems like, it's either it's for you in it or it's not, right? And you kind of have to see for yourself. So yeah, that's kind of how I feel about this. I don't plan on reading any Tiffany D. Jackson books for a long ass time. So don't recommend me nothing. Don't recommend me nothing, because I'm tired. If y'all enjoyed this book vlog, please give it a like. And also, if you read any Tiffany D. Jackson books, please comment down below. If you read any of these books, please comment down below. Share your thoughts on them, how you felt about them, how you feel about Tiffany D. Jackson as an author. And yeah, you can also comment down some book recommendations if you want as well. And yeah, I will see you guys in my next video. Bye.